We're live. Hello.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
Yeah, it's thundery where you are.
Yeah, just a bit. Probably will be able to hear it in the background a little bit,
Awesome.
but
Um, we will look forward to that. Right. I just want to check now that it's coming through that I can hear some audio going on. If you're in the chat and you want to tell us the audio is working, that'd be helpful. Otherwise, I'm trying to get it to unmute so I can tell. Ah, there's the button. Hey, I can hear me. Let's hear if we hear Colby. You start talking for a
I
bit,
think.
Colby.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Test.
Let's see.
I can hear myself.
You start talking for a
I
bit.
think. Oh yeah. Sorry. Test.
Yay!
Awesome.
This is our first time doing this together, and we had some technical issues earlier as we were trying to get sorted out. But I think we are.
I feel like it's a rite of passage by this point, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and there are two viewers on the stream, and I think that's you and me. But hey, that's cool.
Yeah. I think my. I don't know about yours, but my video is showing frozen. Probably doesn't matter a ton,
Oh
but
no, mine's okay.
it is. Okay, let me refresh. Maybe it's just me.
But yeah,
Oh no, now I see it. That's weird. I'm not sure. Maybe I accidentally hit pause or something.
yeah, could be cool. So, what are we doing and why are we doing it, Toby? Or Colby? Sorry.
Yes. So I just launched this new ebook, free ebook called 50 Projects for React and the Static Web. The idea is that a lot of people kind of just want to start learning, but not sure where to jump in. So this project gives people 50 project ideas where instead of having to figure that out, they can just jump in and start coding it right away. So I think the hope here is we can try to work through the flashcards demo as a nice way to kind of introduce to the format and kind of get a look at what that looks like.
Yeah, cool. Should we then let's pull up let's pull up your project and we can have a look at what we're doing. It's my screen's going to do weirdness because I'm going to show my whole screen. So it's going to do weirdness where it does windows all the way down, which is very cool. But oh, I don't want that. Yeah, by the time it comes back, hopefully no one can get that. Ah, I've already done that. So let's make. Ooh, I want to make it full screen, but it's not playing. Ah, there we go. Right. Can you? So yeah, this is weird. So You can. So we've got a shared code thing going on, but
Yep.
but you can't actually see my screen, which is
Yeah.
so, which is fun. So I'm just going to your GitHub repo for this. Is
Cool.
that the best place to go? Do you think?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So the difference between the ebook and the resource is that the ebook includes like all the project briefs and the layout ideas, where the GitHub repo is a link from the ebook, or people can use it by itself. But it includes tutorials, tools, just helpful links for people to get started with each of the different project ideas.
Nice. I am trying to find my copy of 50 projects.
I can forward it to you if you need it.
And oh, don't want that. I had it a minute ago. I was looking at it earlier because we were planning on doing this project. Yeah. 50 projects. You might need to forward it to me, but if it's
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Phil, 50 project. Oh, got it. 0.4.
Oh, you have it?
Is 0.4.
You have 0.4? That should have it. That's not the latest though, but it
Ooh.
should have it if you just want to use. It should have the flashcards one, and I can send you later.
Cool. Cool.
Whatever you want to do.
Well, cool. This is 0.4. So if you want to get your own copy of this, then where can people go?
They can go to 50reactprojects.com, and yeah,
and they'll be able to snag.
Yep, and that'll be sent right to your inbox once you sign up, and you can download it for free.
Very cool. So I'm half looking at the stream and half looking at trying to get this the right size. So I've got it up. So it's really cool. And so who's your target audience? Is it mostly new React developers?
Yeah, so really, and people have said this before, really these projects can go for anything really.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could even be Vue or just vanilla JavaScript. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of focusing on React right now, and a lot of the resources that I provided are React based.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the React comes in. But
Cool.
that said, um, there are a bunch of generalized ideas that people can use for anything.
Nice. And so I'll go to the one we're talking about. There's loads of ideas. There's 50, in fact. And the one that we were chatting about was it's
Should
down
be under
here somewhere.
productivity, I
It's under
think.
products. Cool. Productivity. Here we go. Flashcards.
Got it? Awesome.
And got it. So
I'm a little delayed on
I
seeing
know,
what you
I
got
know.
on the
That's so weird. I could share my screen over Skype as well, but I'm a bit worried about our network connections. Not quite
No,
coping with that.
yeah.
Cool. So talk us through what we've got here.
Sure. So for this one, we have flashcards, kind of what you might imagine if you ever use them for school or just trying to learn something. Where in the physical real world, we might have note cards where we write something on the front and then write something on the back so we can learn a term or a
Mm,
phrase or just a general idea. So the idea is to try to bring that into the internet and create a React application where you have your flashcards that you can kind of sort through and you can help yourself learn.
nice, nice. And so we've got a brief level one, level two, level three. What is it? You start at level three, or you start at level one and work your way up, or like what's the what are you suggesting people do with the resource?
So I recommend starting from the top and working down. The brief is really just a quick introduction. Level one is the first base of it. They don't necessarily get more difficult by
Mm-hmm.
level depending on the project, but more so they try to build on top of each other. So level one will always provide some of the foundation, and then as you go down, it'll build on top of that.
Cool, cool. That makes sense. And along the side, we've got some to dos. So that's like what, so like sort of suggested acceptance criteria in some way, is it? Or
Yeah, just a little way that I don't know, maybe some people might want to print this off. They can mark as they're going through the project, they can mark each thing as done.
mm-hmm.
Where for this one, we want to start off with a list of questions because that's kind of the idea of flashcards,
Mm-hmm.
right? We want to learn something.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going to make the flashcards about? And then we want to be able to add hidden answers. So, and the way that I imagine this is it could be just like a simple unordered list element where it's just the hidden answer by default and you can click button and it shows it.
Mm-hmm.
So just getting the core foundation of it, but
Mm-hmm.
then you're building on top of it where you're beginning to make it look like a real flashcard.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And you've got this toolbox as Firebase. Is that a suggested kind of database backend type of thing? Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So the my most of my suggested for the toolbox, I tried to look around for tutorials and I tried to go based off of that because I wanted to be able to provide a really diverse set of tools because I didn't want to get focused in only the ones that I knew about. So I tried to gear it towards that. That way people could follow along a little bit easier with the tutorials and the examples.
Cool. Cool. And then for each of these, we've got these like suggested layouts, which I've really loved about this project has been
Thank you.
like being able to like I'm like front end is not my forte. Like making things look pretty is not the thing that I do well. And I can sort of get the data and mangle it and do lots of things to the data and talk to databases and get stuff onto the front end and make it appear and handle state. But like getting it laid out, I don't have that eye.
Mhm.
So having like for me, these have been awesome and some good practices to be able to go back and look at can I do the different layouts and yeah,
Yep.
it's really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that was part of the idea of like people being able to focus on just like building rather than having to think about those things. Because, people could easily I mean, not easily, people can make their own layout if they want to. But if that's something that they don't want to think about and just start building, it's there.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's really cool. Cool. And so we suggested when we were chatting, we said that we would try to do this with Next and with Tailwind. And so what we've done previous to this. I don't know why that's open, but probably I did something wrong. Previous to this, we cloned a Next.js and Tailwind starter, and we've made a repo in my repo, in my GitHub called flashcards, and it is. I'm going to run, and all I did was clone this down, ran npm install and npm run dev, and that runs the dev script in package.json. So if I just have a quick look at that, and the dev script literally just says, if I can find it, it literally just says next, and that launches the next starter in on port 3000. Have you done much with Next before, Colby?
Historically, no, but recently, yes.
Cool.
I'm really enjoying like kind of tackling, just learning through it. But it's really great for getting something up and running quickly. Like I still love Gatsby, but I think the different use cases, and it's just fun to be able to play through the different frameworks.
Yeah, totally.
So I enjoy working with it.
Oh, I'm trying to get you. I want to be able to see you. Sorry, I'm trying to be able to get your. I had a little modal with your with your video in it, but I've lost it now, which is sad. So I can hear you, but I can't see you, which is,
no worries,
devastating. Cool. Yeah. So I've done quite a lot with Next recently, actually. Until about this time last year, I hadn't done much React at all. And the company I work with, so there's three of us, myself and Martin and Adam, and we sort of do a lot of prototyping, and Next kind of lends itself really well to that. So we've been doing a lot of work with Next, and I describe it, and most people hate it when I describe it as this, because I used to be a PHP dev, and so I describe it as the PHP of JavaScript, which not a lot of people seem to enjoy as a description for some reason. I can't understand why. But the reason the reason I say that is that it has page-based routing or file-based routing, which I really love. And being able to there is, in this pages directory, there's an about file, which means that if I go to /about, there will be a page, and it will be based on this, which I think is really cool. So that's Next, and then Tailwind is something I love. Tailwind. Because why do I love it? Well, Adam Wathan, the guy who has built it originally and has sort of started his company with Steve Crowther around it. He's a PHP dev, so I have to love him. But yeah,
gotta support each other.
Absolutely, yeah. Everyone else says PHP's dead, but what I love about Tailwind is that it's ugly to start off with. People, it's hard to get used to, but I think once you do, it's just really easy to do complicated CSS without having to create lost style sheets. I think it's easier to come back to projects I built 6 months ago that are built with Tailwind than not, because I'm up and running. I'm not context sifting. I can see the classes and I know exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it.
And that's important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Which is cool. So we have this starter, and I guess we could just get rid of the pages altogether and just start with our own index. Or so let's see what it's doing. So it's got a custom app file, and this isn't really necessary, but I guess we're importing the CSS file, and that will have the Tailwind directives in it. And that lets us be able to use all those fun Tailwind stuff in the right places. And it probably has something in here in the post CSS config. It's got Tailwind CSS, and it's got an auto prefixer. It's often useful I find to have to run purge CSS alongside Tailwind, because Tailwind has got a lot of classes, but you don't use all of them. And so running purge CSS is a really helpful thing to just go through your project at build time and strip out all of the stuff that we don't need, which is cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice. So if we go to index and if I bring you can't see, but I've got the underneath us and the chat window. I do have the site which I can move over if we need it.
Okay.
But it's there. So if we get rid of, so you said in your file, let's pull that up, that the first thing we should do is create a list of questions. What should we do it with? What should we think about?
You want to use? I mean, we can use React itself, JavaScript. We can use something funny like a TV show.
Yeah. So any of those things are cool. I've been learning Clojure recently, so I think when we do this, I'm going to strip it out and replace it with Clojure questions. But I need to construct them, otherwise I should have come with them ready prepared. But yeah. So what's your favorite TV show at the moment? What are you watching?
Have you watched Futurama before?
I have. Yeah.
So how about we do Futurama then?
Cool. And if I search for Futurama trivia questions, is that?
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Yeah, and I wonder if I could add Jason to the end of my search query and see if someone has, or is that cheating?
Well, there's actually there's an API, but I don't know if they. I'm trying to go to it now. I don't know if they have like that sort of thing. If they have trivia, let me see, because they definitely have quotes. So like we could always do like whose quote is this?
Oh, that's nice.
Here, I'll send you that link.
I think I've got it. Futurama API.
I got it.
Heroku app.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, cool. So if we're going to do these cards, I guess Firebase you've suggested as a way to go. I guess initially it might be better if we just had some hard-coded JSON values and use that as like our way to go. So if we have like in our folder, maybe we could have questions.json. And if these are maybe an array of objects, and what should our keys be? Question and answer.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a winner. And then we reckon you had 20 on your layout, and I feel bound to follow your layout. So let's.
I mean, that sounds good.
Let's do 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I feel bad. I should like have managed to do that like with some keyboard shortcut that automatically did 20.
You're gonna have to watch out for that closing array, though.
Oh
yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm behind. So that's what you meant.
No, you're right. I've done something wrong. I didn't mean to copy the array.
Yeah, I think you just had an extra line selected.
Oh, so annoying. Well, I guess what I can do is if I get rid of all of them, and then just put one in the start and one at the end.
Yeah.
That's probably cool. That's done it.
Okay.
Right, so we got our API, and we're going to go / get all API quotes. Ooh, so are there only 19 on here? Oh, there are 20. There are exactly 20 on here anyway.
Oh, there's exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
And hey, this is already a JSON file, so we should be able just to save this, right?
Perfect.
Yeah, that was easier than I thought. Cool. So let me, where did I put it? If we open, I think I saved it to the desktop. Coach.json. So if we steal that and then head back to that file and do that and do that. Hey.
There we go.
Looked promising, but I think I'm too far. Hey, there we go. Cool. So now we have this is cool. So we have 3 things. We have the character's name, we've got a quote to go with the character, and we have an image. Our cards are going to rock.
Yes.
Our cards are going to be amazing. Cool. So we have our data. What do we do now, Colby?
So I'd say we start off by building an unordered list. That way it's something that we can easily style. Well, we need to import it first, of course, but so we can go back to that index and I can start writing that out. Nice. Is that working? Do you see me?
Yep, I see you typing. Yep.
don't think I need the JSON, but are you a semicolon fan?
I am a semicolon fan. Does that make
Good,
me
good.
evil, or
No, that's
are you on my
perfect.
side?
I'm on your side.
Can't see dodge is a real thing against them.
Does? Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. Are you able to see that logging out on the page?
Let's
Oh,
see.
thank you.
um,
Just making sure it's working.
yeah, there we go. Yep, we got the
Nice.
log going on. Bring that
Cool.
up so
So I don't know if you wanted to do it or if I want to do it, but I can just dive in.
Yeah, you dive in.
So I guess we can start taking the questions and we can map through them. Probably want to grab the index for an ID, though, since we don't actually have an ID.
Yeah.
Then actually we want to wrap this with an unordered list first. Then for each of the questions, we can return a list element. And it's important that we're using a list, just to call this out for accessibility and such. Using semantic HTML is always a good thing.
Yeah.
But to get started, look, maybe we just add the question, what does the HTML look like? How about the quote, just to make sure it's working? And I'll add the key so that you don't see the errors for React.
Yay, there they are.
And how's that looking? Yeah, perfect.
So, yep. If I maybe make our window a bit bigger. Yep. So, bite my shiny metal ass. I'm going to guess that's Bender. What do you reckon? I haven't had time off since I was 21 through 24. Any idea who that might be?
I don't know.
Oh. There's colon Trish said, Alex said there's colon semicolon, so why can't we just stack 2 commas? Oh, I love it. The 0 colon. That would be good.
1 through 24. I'm going to guess that's Fry.
Yeah, probably Fry. Cool. Okay, so we have our ordered list. That's us done then, right? We
Yes.
just need to guess, and then it's time to go.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess maybe now we can actually add all the different information in there, because that's the goal, and then we can hide it based off of some display stuff. I'm just writing this back out so I can see it down there. Yep. So how about we add a span, and that way we can actually add a class, since we'll need to hide and show some of this.
Yep.
And then we can do character.
Yep, .character and .image.
And .image, but that needs to be an image tag.
An image, yeah.
Alt equals, and we also want to throw an alt in there always.
Yeah.
An image of, we can just do quote, question, character.
Nice.
All right, now let's see if that works.
Ooh, what's wrong?
No, something's wrong.
The span on the second line.
Oh, just saw that.
And now something else.
I'm just realizing I'm seeing the errors at the bottom. That's good.
An extra UL up here.
Oh, cool. Thanks. I'm noticing the terminal at the bottom. I'm not used to using the VS Code terminal, so that's nice to see errors right down there. Oh, and then there's also, yeah.
Oh, and then the close parens. Hey.
I think I'm fighting against the automated formatting, so I think that's where.
Sorry. My automated formatting is quite aggressive.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing. Keeping it consistent.
Well, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not always the same as my colleagues, and so I sometimes have to be careful what I commit during in repos, because Like,
we do pre-commit hooks with Husky and Lint Stage. That way, nice. You could write it however you want, and you don't have to even think about it.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely something we should do. But again, when you work at an agency as well, so it's lots of different projects and things. So that's always the challenge, isn't it? Like, it's having something that you can move from project to project on, which it is interesting.
Yep. But cool. Looks like all showing up there. Do we want to find out who that quote was from?
Oh yeah.
Probably can command.
Your guess was so
my guess was Fry.
Time off. It was Fry. Yeah.
Nice.
There it was. And look,
The
he's very
anticipation is killing me because of the delay.
yeah. Sorry. You're gonna see a cool picture of Fry
Awesome.
who's loving your work here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. So I think we got this basic list, and now we probably want to make them look like flashcards, right?
That'd be cool. Yep, cool.
Cool. So do you want to step in here since you're probably more versed with Tailwind than I am
Could
about
do.
styling this up?
Could do. Right. So, yeah. I mean, we could abstract away the card element, but we might as well just
Okay.
keep going where we're at, and then we can see where we're at. So, I reckon we want the image on. Oh no, we want the image to disappear as well, to appear with the character, and we want the quote maybe
Yeah.
on the right. So if we, I mean, I want to call that like flex,
Mm.
and then have a div that has the image and the character in it, which is the one we'll hide, and then the quote. So we'll have the image with the character below, the character's name below it, and we'll have the quote on the right. So, but yeah, let's give it a border to start us off, and we're probably only going to want to show one at a time, aren't we?
Yeah. But
So
we can make the cards and then do that if
yeah,
you think that
you're
would be
right.
helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay, so we got our border, and then let's just give it some like margin all the way around, and some padding so that everything's a bit further in. Okay, so it's starting to look a little bit
Starting to come together.
starting to come together. Let's center the character's name in below them in their div. Ooh, it didn't work. Why did that not work? Spans. Is it because spans are silly? I'm going to make a para to see if that makes a difference.
Mm,
It does. Think because spans are inline elements rather than.
right.
So yeah, I'm going to cheat and call it just swap that around. Actually, I might do the same with the quote as well, because what I want to do with that, I guess, if we're flexing, I always struggle with align center or justify center. Like, is it align item center
Yeah.
or is it justify center? Throw them both in and see if that
And then it
works. And
and
it
then it
doesn't.
depends on if you're doing row or column.
Yeah, exactly. And so maybe self center.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with self center.
So that's align self center in Tailwind.
Mm,
So
okay.
so yeah, and that works. So I always know that I've got a few of them, and I never quite know which one I'm supposed to be using at a given time. But yeah,
Right.
I know one of them will work. so so I can get rid of the ones I didn't use. Align center and justify center didn't actually do anything, so I can get rid of those.
Cool.
Cool. So we have kind of a card. We have a rectangle. We've got the image and which is in and the character name, which are in a div that we can target separately. We have the quote. Maybe have some quotes, some pretty quotes either side of it, so it looks like a quote. Um,
Yeah. Do you want
and
to?
hmm?
I was thinking about how to do that in Tailwind.
Oh
Uh,
right, I just put quotes
just put
around
the
the.
quotes. Yeah.
That's,
Okay.
you're right. I could. It probably is a way to do that with Tailwind. Because what is the what's the
Well,
CSS?
I was thinking like before and after elements.
Oh yeah, actually, Tailwind's not always great on pseudo elements,
Oh no.
which is yeah, one of the way, and yeah, they're working on it, but actually pseudo elements
Interesting.
are not very well supported in my experience, but maybe. But I have noticed them adding different bits in, and
Cool.
recently they've added in grid as well, which has been really helpful. I've used a lot of grid in some projects recently, which has been cool.
Nice.
Cool. So we have our quote. This font isn't pretty.
Yeah, we could probably bump that up a little bit.
Yeah. So let's bring it up to text XL. Let's see what that looks like. That's pretty nice. Maybe 2XL. That's a bit better. And then maybe our character name could probably be maybe 3XL. I typed 4 though. Maybe not. Maybe 2XL as well. Okay, we're kind of. I think I'm I'm aware that some of the images are wider than some of the others, and I'm worried that might give some kind of subconscious clues to us. So if we set the div with the image to have width a half, it'll have half of its parent div, and if we do the same with the other, then
Do we have to also set like where flex grow to 0 or something?
I think from memory, I'll double check. I think Tailwind's flex. It's Tailwind UI. I think Tailwind's flex has grow set to 0.
Okay,
But I'll
cool.
just double check. Flex. 110. What's that? 110.
I don't think I ever used shorthand for that, so I don't know.
Well, what we could do is if we inspect the element, we can see what the actual HTML is coming out as, or what the actual
Perfect.
CSS is coming out of. So flex. Oh no, it's just display flex. So
Okay.
so what is flex grow? Flex grow 0. It's just.
I mean, we might not necessarily need it.
We might.
I wasn't sure if it was one of those funky things.
It's probably good just to put it in just to be sure. Cool. So now our images are always half of our boxes. Our text is always half our boxes. We've got none of those little subliminal clues coming in.
And I think we want that grow on the. I know I'm a little late to the label.
Where?
I think we want the grow on the div, right?
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. And
also, I think the thunder passed, so I think we're good now.
Oh, cool. Even better. And on the quote there. Oh, that made things yucky. Why would that make things yucky? Oh, because I deleted the number 2, which apparently is an issue. That quote could probably do with some internal padding as well. I'm also now aware that some of the heights are different. So we should take a max height and
So for that, would we need to make it either a background image?
Oh, that's a good call.
Or we could fix it to the top of a div. Probably either or, right?
Yeah. So tell me what you're thinking. So I'm not sure.
So either we can make it a background image, which would probably be easier.
Yeah.
Because then we can just define the size and then set the background image with background image cover or background size cover. I think
if I remember correctly, previously I've had to pass in a styles prop for background images.
Okay.
I don't think Tailwind has
that sounds right.
Box.
Yeah.
So style and background image is, and I need to do.
Would we want to add that to the div below?
You're right. Good job. You're here.
Sorry that I keep delaying.
No. You can follow live on the code editor.
That just realizing that. Thank you.
That's okay. And so this wants to be URL of question.image.
Yep.
So let's get rid of the image. The slight disadvantage, reflecting on our accessibility point earlier, is that we can't have alt tags for background images.
But what we can do is we can close up that. We can add the text inside in a span, and then we can add one of the screen readers only.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So if you see the screen, can you see the screen now?
I can see the code editor. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So, but the the browser now. Sorry,
Okay.
it's now the text. The size of the text is changing the size of the boxes, which is about right, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll want to probably set a fixed
height.
width and height. Yeah.
For the background image, you reckon, or for the
probably for the background image.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh, cool. So I guess that would be because the W is the right.
Yeah.
Okay. Did it do it?
It did it. Did it do it?
And then I'll look in Tailwind, see if I can find the background cover, background size.
Oh yeah, that's BG cover.
Let's see. Yeah. Cool. BG cover. Cool. Does that seem to work?
That looks good. Although to one of them, it still seems to be basing its height off the text rather than off the. Is it min height? Do we need a min height on the?
Oh, I think it's because we have the div. It's because the div is wrapping the character name too. So what we probably want to do is maybe we can add another span in here, or for Tailwind, is it like display B for display block? Maybe
just block.
A block. Okay, and then I can copy this in here as well as this. I can also move the style tag to that as well. And then we can also add our screen reader text.
And it's SR only as the class. SR hyphen only.
Awesome. And then image of character. Cool. So that should ideally not be showing. And then we should have the image display block with the cover. Is that looking right?
There's no image now.
There's no image now? Okay. Let me see. Maybe we need to center it. Maybe that's part of the issue. Background position. Let's see. Looks like it's BG center.
Sounds good.
Cool. Does that look like it's showing up?
Not quite. Just see if the.
Did I do something wrong here?
I don't know. So it has the image as the background image. It's displaying block. Width half. Oh, should that half be one level up because the surrounding div is the one that's being flexed? So this is.
Oh, it could be. I was more so going for the image, but I think that would probably work too.
Oh, but if
I'm curious why it's not even showing at the width half and height half though.
It's if I the element for the span. Oh, the span has no height because the span. Oh, it all seems to have picked up the screen reader only is there. There's 1 pixel.
Oh, by the way, I just found out that I can click this shared server and I can see the actual code. Oh, so that's cool.
That's cool.
So it looks like it's not picking up the height, I think.
Yeah, it looks heightless.
Yeah.
It's 37 pixels wide and 0 pixels high. What about min height something? That feels like a bad thing to do, but
oh, you know what? Is it because we're using half? We're using a percentage as opposed to I don't know. Is it like width 1 width?
So that's tiny, but yeah.
Yeah, but we're getting somewhere.
There is something there now. Yep.
So let's make it 10 maybe just to see what it does.
Yep. So we can see it.
Still getting there.
Still getting there. Yeah.
Let's make it 20. Double it up.
Cool. Does it matter, or do we change if we're setting explicit widths like that? Does that mess with the aspect ratio, or is that okay?
So I guess it kind of depends on what we want to do. Like, do we want them to be a fixed size that shrinks
Yeah,
and grows with the
definitely do.
browser, or we do? Okay.
No.
Um,
I think you're right. We do want. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think we do want them a fixed size.
I was gonna say as opposed to like where the text is responsive and the
Mm.
container shrinks with the text, but the image stays fixed. So depends on really what we want to go with there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What do you reckon?
Um, Maybe we could just make the cards responsive so that
Mm-hmm.
they so it just grows with the
Sounds good.
text.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But cool. Now we have I doubled that up to 40 again, and I don't think we're gonna have. It's not gonna be perfect because the images are they're all not gonna look good centered. But I think we can kind of not worry about that for now. I
Fry,
think it's okay.
Fry and Zap don't
Uh,
have any heads at the moment.
yeah,
So it's, you know.
yeah. Unless
Um,
we fix it to the top, maybe fixing to the top would be better. But
um,
probably
I'm going to
good
bring
enough.
in our width a half again to the that div so that it
Mm,
splits the window in half.
perfect. Okay.
Um, and those cards look like they're the same widths or the same heights now, roughly. I think we have a card.
Cool.
Nice. Cool. So I guess if we're learning these, we want so la, 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 la. How are we gonna do the next bit now, eh? So we have a card. We've got the current card. Um, hmm.
So we have two. So I'm thinking like two options here.
Yep.
Either we do we want to make it actual physical so that it flips over, or would we rather make it so that you click a button and it shows? Clicking the button and having it show would definitely be the easier approach. Whereas the other way, we'd want to figure out a way to have it on the back side of it, so
Hmm.
then when you click it, it turns around. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yep. Like an Anki, which is like a flashcard system. Yeah, that does that,
Hmm.
which is cool. Um, yeah, one's definitely easier, right?
Yeah. I mean, we can start with the button and see where it goes.
Yeah, let's start easy and I guess when someone so like we're talking about spaced repetition, right? So when someone sees it, they guess. If they get it right, then it gets like put aside for this session. If they get it
Hmm.
wrong, it goes back to the back of the deck.
Yeah.
So for each card, that's what we need to know, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm thinking we'll need to maybe we want to break these cards out into the card component, kind of like
Mm.
what you were getting at before. That way we can have the internal state and we can also set an event handler. So
Mm-hmm.
when somebody selects either the mark done button,
Mm-hmm.
it'll mark it off as a top level state.
Sounds good. Right. So
Then we can filter those out based off of that state.
cool. Let's do that then. So let's create a new file. Um, and ooh, I just dumped the whole. I just brought that HTML with me. React function component. And this is going to be card component. And with all this, the cool thing about Next is that you actually don't have to import React on every
Yeah.
component. That's cool. And so let's save it in components and call it card.js.
Cool.
Hey, cool. And then if we go back, we import card from, I said cart. We have one person who's here. Hello, one person. It might still
Hello.
it might still be Alex, but there's there's three people on the stream and two of them are us. So yeah, we're doing well. Cool. So for this, I'm going to pass down. I'm going to keep the li.
Okay.
I'm going to in the card component. I'm going to pass down the question. This question. And then in the card component, I'm going to expect question, and everything should work the way it used to, right? No, probably not. What have I done wrong?
So now you have a double of the list element, and we don't have
Yes, you're right.
that I.
So let's
Yeah.
get rid of. that,
It's
and then we
still,
probably need
let's see
that
here.
in a fragment now. Oh, not a dot.
Oh.
There's a dot in here.
Nice.
Cool. But that does. Well, I do wonder if we want to. I feel like we want this index page to be not to have any styles in it at all, so we could bring those with us
Yep.
into our card component and have that.
So it looks like one thing that I'm kind of realizing is also Tailwind looks like they stripped those.
Everything. So
Yeah.
So everything that comes with the browser or that comes natively is gone. So yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, so it meant like building my blog, I had to like, so I've got a markdown blog in Gatsby, and I thought, well, I'll use Tailwind because I normally use Tailwind, and hey, why not? But that's meant that I've had to then build out every possible Gats or like HTML element that I use my markdown, and had to style them where I get those for free with the browser. So
Right.
you get nothing for free with Tailwind.
I could see that being both a good thing and a frustrating thing.
Yeah. No, definitely. You're not fighting against native styles, but then you're
Right.
also you're maybe missing out on some fun stuff too. Right. So for each of these questions, we want to track whether or not they are visible. No. So correct. Like guess or
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. Let's go correct.
I also just want like a general visibility. So what would we want to call that? In terms of whether or not they're looking at it.
Yep. So right. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it could just be visibility or
Yeah.
hidden
Or
or
in
something.
view.
Yeah. In view. Yeah.
And if I only want the first one to be in view to begin with. Oh, but okay, it's fine. I'll work out what I'm doing in a second. So I guess visible. So for in view. Ugh. Sorry.
No worries.
So I was going to set up a ternary based around our in view, and we say hidden or nothing, and it's the opposite, right?
Yeah.
So they are all hidden because they're starting off as false, but I'll start them all off as true just
To debug.
to debug. Oh, hey, Harakoa. So we went correct or incorrect.
So we'll probably need a button.
Yeah.
So we'll only probably want to show this button once it's in view. Once in view is true. And then once somebody selects it, then it would update that state so that we're basically saying once we display that answer for somebody, then they can choose whether it's marked as done or not.
Yeah. Okay. So our button's going to be based on in view, and will we put it below the quote? Guess.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So in view. Let's just do that. Although, how do you feel about that? Are you happy with that? Is that something?
No, I think that sounds great.
Cool.
No, yeah.
Like, well, no, I guess it is a boolean, so that's okay. It is an actual boolean as opposed to a truthy value. Oh,
So we'll probably actually want to wrap that entire thing then, right? Even the quote as well. Because right. Because once it's in view, then we'll show the answer.
But will we? Will we not wait until they've said? I'm sort of envisaging like a guess button here. So like, bite my tiny ass. I'm going to say Bender, and I'm going to click guess. And when I click guess, then Bender's going to appear, and my button's going to change to say, or then I'll have two buttons that'll say correct or incorrect.
I was looking at it backwards. You're right.
Does that make
Yeah, no,
sense?
no, it does. I was looking at it backwards because we want to show the quote, so we actually want Bender in view. So yeah, I was backwards there.
Okay. So if I have a button that says, oh, is it still frozen? Or is it okay now? I
I'm
can
not
see it
sure.
moving on my screen, but
It's moving on mine as well. If anybody's watching, is the video still working okay? Can they hear us?
oh. Can I hear us if I turn it on?
Okay, I can hear the
I can hear
audio
us.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're just ignoring us. It's fine. So this is coming inside this flex container. So what I might do is move the flex down one level. Because I want the button. Oh no, I know what I'll do. Sorry, I'm being silly. I'll move. I won't do that at all. I will, and then I'll take these, put that on there, and then my button I want to have class name. I'll probably also wants to be centered. Probably wants. Oh no, it doesn't apparently.
Do they have default colors?
No. Oh, yeah, they do. So like BG green 200.
Cool.
Then
There we go.
padding to rounded LG, and maybe what am I thinking? Something. Oh, maybe a border. Maybe border blue. I don't know. You can tell I'm an amazing designer. Actually, that's not too bad. That'll do.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
And this probably could. This button needs to be centered. Really, I reckon. Self-centered didn't work. So, what would I do?
So we could probably either add aligns. Well, do we want to align everything, or do we want to?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, go for it.
So maybe we can just do text. Is it text center for this?
Text center. Yeah.
Or we can. It doesn't look like that's updating it, right?
No.
So let me look at the HTML. Oh, mine's still not showing the text center. Maybe I didn't save it.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, maybe you're not allowed to save it. That's interesting.
Oh.
I don't know. Cool. Now I kind of want the button to like be fixed to the bottom as opposed like the same distance from the bottom. So would that be would you absolutely fix that and give it a I don't know. How would you do that?
I think that would make sense. Were you thinking? So it's always. Were you thinking like in the corner, like
maybe
bottom right corner?
Bottom right corner.
I think that would make sense then. Yeah, to use the absolute for that, and then we'd want to position the container relatively.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oops, what did I do? So this should be relative, and this should be right 5, bottom 5, maybe. Is that terrible? It's not. Oh, that didn't work.
Let's see. It says position absolute. It looks like it's not pulling the top and right, at least from what I can see.
Oh right, okay. So maybe I've done that wrong. Top. Oh, just top. Oh yeah, top. Oh, maybe it's bottom.
I'm sorry, bottom. It's not showing the positioning is what I meant.
Yeah. Oh, it should be bottom 0. Oh, maybe I'm just looking at the documentation and yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Should be that. So right 4. Well, if I do 0, 0 and see what happens there, maybe should be stuck right at the bottom.
There we go.
Okay. So maybe it only takes a subset of the values.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it only takes you. So with Tailwind, you can add your own values, and so on each page they have like how you would extend it for yourself.
Hmm.
So here, so I'm sorry, I'm scrolling the documentation trying to find. Here we go. So if we want to customize, we could, if we wanted it to be like 5 pixels from the bottom or 10 pixels, then we could add this into our Tailwind config.js. But
Hmm.
I think our padding probably makes it look okay because
Yep.
we have the padding of 4, which is about, I think it's a rem on each side. So I think that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So if I click this button, I want to see these guys. I want to see the image and the character, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
So do we want to wrap the top div
yeah,
in view?
yep. Seems instead of the other div. Yep, that should make sense.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I can start writing that out.
Cool.
I think that'd be if not in view. Let's save that. Cool. There we go. But now we are just missing that height. Are we setting a fixed height anywhere? Because maybe we can set that on the container.
We're not setting a fixed height yet. No.
Yeah. So would you rather do that, or would you rather set the visibility to hidden? That way it maintains its height.
Yeah, I think probably hidden because then it's there in some ways. It's like keeping its own space in the DOM.
Yeah.
So we could just like take this class and whack it in, right?
Yep.
So if we just do that, I don't know. Oh yeah, that this needs to be a doof doof instead of a doof doof. There are the technical terms. Cool, nice. So actually, we want it. It is hidden. So if in view hidden. So if
Yeah.
so that does lose its place in the DOM.
Hmm. I wonder what hidden. Maybe hidden makes it display none with
Oh, I
Tailwind.
think it does. Let's just double check. Yeah.
Visibility.
Oops, hidden. Um.
So it looks like we want invisible.
Oh. We do.
There we go.
And we want the on click for our button to be a function that sets in view to not in view. Oh. Hey, hello Fry, Lila, hello Bender. I hate the people that love me and they hate me. Who is it?
I hate the people who love me but hate me.
Hate.
Bender?
Yeah. You called that an antenna?
Bender.
No, it was URL.
Oh.
Sorry, you're also lagged behind what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What about? I'm anticipating an all-out tactical dogfight followed by a late dinner.
Fry? Or Leela?
Zap.
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 I'm not as good with my quotes, am I?
No, but that's why we're building this for you, Colby.
Exactly.
So
So I can study.
better. Yeah, exactly. Cool. So we've got our guesses appearing. And our button disappears when that happens. But we probably have another set of buttons, right? That that appears to say whether or not it was correct or not.
Yep. So we'll want to. So we'll want 2 buttons, and we'll only want them to show when. And we can probably hide that guess button, or is it hidden now once we get it to
it's
show?
hidden when we go to show.
Okay. So we can do the opposite state, and when it's not in view, we can add those 2 additional buttons, so that we can make it correct or not.
So
and I think those we'll probably want those to bubble up to the parent to maintain that state, right?
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting thought on how we might what we might do with that. So we have our correct, and let's put these. They're going to need to be in a fragment. Oh, why has it done that again? Fragment correct. Or I got it.
Yay.
Not this time. Oh. Oh yeah, that's right, because they've been set. Oh, no, I want to see both buttons.
Oh, because they're probably overlapping each other, right?
Because they're set absolutely, of course.
Yeah. So we probably want to absolute. Maybe we can,
lose the absolute
instead of the fragment. Well, I was gonna say maybe instead of the fragment, we can make that a div, and then we can set the absolute on that. Well, we probably want that.
You're right. You said the absolute
Yeah.
on that. You're right. I'm sorry. That makes more sense than.
Then hopefully that container expands for both of the buttons.
That'd be nice.
There we go. Cool.
There we go. But let's give it some like margin top maybe. Move. Not like that. Padding top. Maybe there's just margin top. I forgot the T. No. 3. Yeah. So I'm just noticing on bent, like the buttons are sometimes overlapping the text.
If it's getting long enough.
Yeah. So how can we fix that?
Interesting. That's probably because the browser width.
Yeah. Yep. So if I change the browser width, it's fine. But on narrow, like on mobile, it would be a much bigger issue.
Right. We'd probably want to get into responsive, like media queries at that point, right?
Yep. Yep. So Tailwind.
I mean,
how would we do that? So we could say.
Alternatively to the absolute positioning, we could use flex and then have it so that it's flexbox in a column, which does space between. I think it is where it pushes the inside of it outwards, and maybe that'll give us what we need.
Oh, I think it's. Is it just? No, you're right. Let's see what that does. Let's get rid of absolutes.
Only Siths deal in absolutes.
Hey. But then the buttons, I guess, want to be in a row. That works, but it looks ugly.
Yeah, but then you can make those justify center the buttons. There we go. So then I think let me look up what it is, but I think on this parent div is where we want to do the flex between, or space between rather.
Yeah, so I thought I do. Yeah, I think it's space between. I've got the IntelliSense autocomplete.
Oh, okay, cool.
But that's not working. Is it justify between? I'll try space between. And you think it should be up here on the parent div?
Yeah, exactly what we're doing. But it looks like it is justify between.
I thought it was, but I was.
Or it might be, that one might be a line between. Oh no, there we go. Perfect.
Did that work?
Let's see. Is it working for your for when it's too long too?
It works when it's too long. It works when it's too narrow. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. I wonder if those buttons. Now I'm saying this. Like, I wonder if those buttons want to come out, like, to stretch across below the. Like, the I got this and not this time could go right across the card, couldn't they?
Right. We might be able to add I wonder if we add flex grow to both of the buttons, if that'll do it. And then, because the flex is already 100%. So if we add flex grow, that might take up the space between.
But the parent container, this div here, only has a half width of the div it's in. So does that not mean that it's getting stuck at this point, at the 50% mark?
Maybe. So I think it depends on the screen size because when I'm looking at it, it looks like there's space, so it's not filling up the entire space. What's the browser width that you're looking at so that I can be at this around the same?
Well, as small as possible. So
As small as possible. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like just putting my rulers on, like 450 pixels wide.
Okay. Oh, so you mean below the character as well?
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. So I'm wondering.
Gotcha.
I'm wondering if like it stretches right across the whole card.
Gotcha. So we'd probably want it to actually break out.
Yeah. So if we move
of the quote then
back to being like just a doof dang, and instead go here and say if not in view, and there.
And I think if we set a width of 100% on that, we probably need a flex wrap on the parent so that it'll allow us to wrap it. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, we're one level too high now, right? Because we want to be outside of the original flex, which we're still in.
Well, I think we might be okay there if you want.
Okay.
Let me try adding flex wrap. Oh wait, it's not.
Oh, I'm trying to get it back again.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I was adding. Don't tell me I just.
Oh no, it's okay. I was just trying to control Z enough to be able to get back to where I was.
That's interesting. It maintains like a shared history.
Yeah, shared history. Yeah. That's good.
So at the top here, if we do flex wrap, I think that might make it work. Yeah. See, because then our bottom one is 100%, or we need to set that to 100%. So would it be like width 100? W100?
W100, yeah.
That did not make it 100.
It did not. Are we like we could if we could then explicitly set each of the buttons to be half of the container. Oh, but again, that's not done that.
I'm gonna look up the width 100%.
Is it full? Yay, it's full.
Yeah, full. Okay.
Cool. Well, we might need the half and half then with that, or will we?
I mean, we can keep it. It doesn't matter. Either way.
Okay, cool. And then maybe some padding in between.
Yeah.
So, or some margin in between, rather. Margin 1, even, just a little bit. Ooh, yuck. What's that about? One of my buttons is bigger than the other.
Maybe we can put that on the container. I'm guessing it's pushing the flex space. That's my guess, at least.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Oh, wait, it's because I only put it on one of them. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Oh, duh.
There we go. Oh, nice. And it added the margin between two, which is good.
Yeah, so I think they look a bit better now.
Then maybe we can make the knot at this time red.
Ooh, nice.
Since it's a sad one.
I'm sad. And so on click event for the I got. Oh, right. So so how are we going to push it up? So do we need to accept something?
Yeah, so I'm thinking we have two event handlers we can even do one event handler, but two is just easier to read for now.
Yeah.
We can do like on mark done, on mark, or like on yes, on no, whatever we want to call it. Mm-hmm. But then we can set functions up in the index page.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Should I just go ahead and do that then?
Yeah, you do that.
So let's call it on correct and on wrong, I guess. Then we'll set up two event handlers on click equals the capital C on correct. Is that what I called it?
Mm-hmm.
On wrong. Cool. Okay, so those event handlers should be in, and now we just need to define those functions over in the. Was I able to save that? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So back in the index page, we can set up the handle on correct, and also the function handle on wrong, and we can pass them into our card. And now we can manage a list of those questions and states. Const.
With X state, right?
With XState? Oh, I actually haven't used XState yet. I've been wanting to, but
I've only I haven't used it in practice yet. I've only used it I've done David's course, and I've done someone else's course on Kyle's course on Egghead. I've worked through that, but I haven't actually used it in practice yet.
It sounds fantastic.
Exactly.
I just haven't.
Yeah.
But okay, so for the questions, what should we call the questions variable? I'm prone to just add the word state just so that we don't have to think about it.
Yep.
Okay. Update state and then equals React, use state. All right. So what kind of shape are we going to want this to be in? Probably an object, right? Because we're going to want to, what we can do is we can use the index and we can set that as the identifier for whether it's right or wrong. So if it is correct, we can update the state, and we probably want to map over the previous state so that we're not clobbering anything. Then map out or spread out the previous state, and then say whatever that index is. But it looks like we're going to need to pass in that index as part of the question.
Well, we could pass it in as a parameter on the onCorrect, can we? Can we just do here? Because we have access to I there.
Well, we would need to do this then.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Which we can. Let's just do that. You got it? Yeah. Cool. All right, so then we'll have the index there readily available for us, and we can say that index with a dynamic property key is equal to, I guess we can just say true, or should we use a string, correct and wrong? Probably doesn't matter either way, but and then we can do the same exact thing with wrong, and we can say wrong. Cool. So now we probably want to also map that state to those. Is something broken?
We didn't. With all our wonderfulness for our guessing buttons, we've made the absolute on the guess button look ugly, but we can fix that.
The what? I'm sorry?
So on the button that you click to make your guess, it's still absolute, and it's
okay.
So we didn't fix that button.
Gotcha. Okay.
I feel like I'm disappearing. I'm going to turn the light on.
Okay. All right. So I think for the questions, we also want to map out the state for each of those questions. So what we can probably do is, let's create a new constant called mapped questions, just as a placeholder.
Yep.
Then we can map that for each question. We want to find the state of it. Const question state equals
state question.
Well, we probably want to grab the index, right?
Yeah. So state. Yeah.
And then there would be
state I.
State I. And I guess either state I or do we want to make a default value?
Yeah, or
correct, I guess? Or wrong, or just empty?
Well, because I think we're going to take the card out of the mapped or the filtered array if they've got it correct, aren't we? We're going to say, hey, we don't care about you anymore. So maybe it starts off at wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense. And if we're not doing anything special with wrong answers, but we can come back to it if we end up doing that.
Yeah.
But then we can just spread out that question and the question state. Do we want to just call it state again?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now, let's see, what did I do wrong? Oh, it looks like it added a layout on us down there.
Yeah. And took away the layout at the end.
Let's see, is that better now? Oh, it's because I'm missing the...
the parent. Yeah.
Okay, successful.
Ooh.
Yay, awesome.
So I guess we want to filter these questions before we map on them then? on whether or not they are
Yes.
correct. So
Good call.
we filter question and we want to say question dot state
State. Yep.
is
Does not equal correct.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, not equal correct. Cool. So then if I go guess, I got it. Oh, we haven't actually done anything with this yet, have we? Oh,
Have we?
I don't know. Yeah, I got it, button's not working yet anyway.
Let me refresh the page.
What? Oh. In the card component, I got on correct. Should be calling on correct. Let's just see handle on correct. Let's see. I'm being clicked. Console log. Debugging for the win.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
It seems to be working.
Yeah, I'm being clicked.
Let's see. Update states. Oh. Oh, my my key light died because I had it on battery power.
Oh. You're in darkness too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I'm bright enough for now that it's
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
right?
I think you're okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
I
looks a little
was
creepy.
definitely dark before I turned some lights on. So yeah.
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 I thought I lost power for a second.
Oh no. Yeah.
But okay, so we have a previous. We're setting the previous, and let's see. Does it have to do with the index? Or are we not? What we can do? Maybe we can console log out the state.
Yeah. And the mapped questions would be nice to see.
Yep.
Let's just see it all.
Yeah.
All the things. Right. So we've got. Oh, that only has one item in it. The state.
Yeah. So by default.
By default, it's an empty thingy. And
Yeah.
then, but actually, before it's been clicked, unless.
So it's.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's right. So it's maintaining the state. So correct.
Yeah.
But then the array.
So it's not getting filtered.
It's not being filtered properly. So I'm trying to.
Oh, you know what? It's because we're not using mapped questions down in the actual map.
Oh, duh.
In the filter, right?
Duh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So now it's.
So I got so map questions, filter question state equals correct. Okay, so guess he's gone, yay.
Yeah.
Although I think the problem is that because yay. I think because
it's definitely
because it's already got the state. So I'm gonna refresh the page and clear out the state. So
there's definitely an issue though, because so I see what's happening now.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't realize that it's the.
Oh, it's not the 0th or the 1th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to find that index afterwards.
Yeah.
So how do we want to do that?
So we could just actually give them keys in the JSON file. We could actually just give them numbers, right?
Yep.
That's probably the most straightforward thing to do, I guess, is to to give them IDs.
Because ideally that would be the case anyways.
Yeah.
So working with IDs.
Yeah. So I'm going to give them numerical IDs of 0 to 18 or 0 to 19. So I want to do some regex.
Are you going to try to do this with multi-select? Or something?
I'm going to see what I can do here. Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to try to start from the bottom, but I'll let you play with that.
I'll see if I can do some magic. Let's see. So because I want to deal with those, I want to take that and I want to put it back in again with a new line and ID, 0. Now I'll just have to increase the numbers. Oh, almost. Apparently I don't need to escape it the second time. Cool. Okay, so now our job gets a bit easier because we just have to replace numbers. So this probably could be done better as well, but Hey,
It's a bold move, live coding regex.
I know. I love a bit of regex. What's the quote that says, you could solve this problem with regex, but then you've got two problems: the original problem
Yeah.
and regex.
Yep. I'm horrible with regex. Like every time I think I have it, something doesn't work.
Yeah, it's a fun. Right, so we now have IDs. Cool. We now have IDs.
Awesome. So we can probably update that in all the things.
In all the things.
So at first, instead of the key, we can grab that ID, which will be nice. We don't need that index anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We can instead pass in that ID. Let's see, where else are we using that index? In our different functions, we can pass it in as an ID, just so that we know that we're using the right thing. Where else? Are we using anywhere else? Here? Yeah, the state. But we need to deconstruct that out from the question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I think I got them all, right? So maybe we can try now.
Let's see if you caught them all. So Bender, something happened. I'll refresh again.
Is there an error?
No, but I got it on Bender, but then Layla is inheriting the state. So
Okay.
Is it something? Are we using it?
Are we still console logging it out? Yeah, okay. So 0, 1 through 3, 0, 1 through. I wonder if we're using that index somewhere, or if it didn't save an update, maybe. I'm going to refresh my page and make sure that
state's empty at the start.
And everybody seems to have the right ID.
It worked that time.
Yeah, maybe it was just stale.
It could have been stale. Yeah, cool. That's working.
Yeah, I think there's some wonkiness sometimes with the save state with the live share, so maybe that was the issue.
Oh, that could be as well, yeah. So a mixture between two. Cool, okay.
But yeah, it seems to work.
Nice.
And then not this time.
What should not this time do?
So I'm thinking that, okay, so if the idea is that we're only going to show one at a time, we would cycle through each item.
Yeah.
And we would mark it, I got it or not. So either situation, yeah, exactly. We can shift it on the end.
So our mapped questions, we could have our filter. We could extract our filter. So handle correct would remove it from the array altogether. So actually, we wouldn't filter by question state. We would actually get rid of it. And so correct, we would pop that one off, or we would delete that. It's an array, so we want to.
So we probably want to shift it out, right?
Yeah.
And then And then so slice it and then shift it, right?
Yeah, and then handle wrong would just slice it and then put it on the end again.
And we need to manage that in a separate state instance, right?
Yeah, like we need the current slide or current question.
Yeah, well, we would need both that and the list of questions that are active, right?
Yeah. So
if we're gonna mark it to the back, we can either physically shift the array, or we can just set the index on the one that's visible. So maybe for state, or you know what I mean. So we have just one that's visible, and then we just increase that value as we're moving through the questions.
Yeah.
So maybe that would be a little bit more, a little bit more straightforward.
And I wonder, like, if we want to shuffle them anyway. So actually, it goes back into the So maybe because I guess So it goes back into the random. It goes back into the array. So it doesn't get removed from the array, but you pick the next. So handle on wrong select is actually a function that just selects the next question and doesn't do anything else. Handle on correct removes that question and then selects next question.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And that way, if you've memorized the order of the questions, you don't have an advantage.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, I used to be a teacher. I know the lengths that these kids go to. Kids these days. So we want like an array for. So actually, that means we just need one state object, which is the like almost questions in play, or
Yeah.
possible questions. Possible questions, and set possible questions, which is going to be an array of the range of 0 to the length of the
Questions length.
array. Does that work? So
I think so.
Is it 0? Is it array dot from array? What's
You should.
Hmm?
I think it's like. Is it something like this?
Yeah, and then
Where that hashtag is the number?
yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so it's a new array questions
Here, let me double check that.
length. Then C-log possible questions.
So that what we put in there is going to give you a length of that number, but it's going to be
Empty arrays every time.
undefined. Yeah.
Undefined.
So, I mean, what we can do though is, let me see here. Const default possible equals this map, and then item index. Or wait, no. So this would be the ID that we'd want, right?
Yeah, and they're also 0 indexed.
That way we can say that we can
Yeah.
just pass back that ID.
Yeah.
That way the default possible will be just that array of IDs, right?
Yep.
Did that work?
It's hard to tell which one's what, so let me just
Oh, I did not include that spread operator.
I think that didn't work then. So it says empty 10 empty slots. It says an array 20, 10 empty, and then they're all empty.
Here, let me try saving
Oh wait,
again.
do we not need to actually put? Oh wait, so map.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do here is grab the ID from questions.
Yeah.
For each question. Oh, that's not going to work because we're.
Yeah.
So what we want to actually do is just.
Oh, just map on questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in which case it should not just be question and then just question.id. Is that what you? Maybe you were doing that.
Yeah, I was kind of destructuring it.
Oh, sorry, you were. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That works. Yeah.
It's still saying we've got empty slots.
Default possible is being used. That's strange.
What does default possible?
It's definitely coming in, right?
Yeah. C-log default possible. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's the array 1 through 20. But it's not. Is it because this takes a second to? Well, maybe because this.
I was wondering if it's saving the state.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm refreshing the page. Yeah, so if you refresh the page, possible questions is right. It looks like I'm guessing it was saving the state between the fast refresh.
Yeah, it does do that. It's. Oh, I broke it. Oops. There we go. Oh. Go. Nice. Okay, so we have an array now. Possible question 0. Yeah, cool. So then we need a select question function, which is going to take a random question from the possible questions. So const select question, which is going to take possible questions, and it's going to, oh, I've got this weird select highlighting going on. Don't know why. Can you see this? Are you getting weird highlighting?
I don't think so. Seems okay to me.
Okay, cool. So select questions, possible questions, and what do we want to do? We want to get the length of it. So possible questions.
You're going to make me calculate random here, aren't you?
Yeah. So possible.
I forget the
length, and then it's math.random. So math.random. Oops. Times length, and then floored. And that's going to be the question, I think. So current question's the other piece of state we need.
Yeah.
Set. And we'll start off with question 0. Or no, maybe we should have a random question to start off with as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Cool. I think that's right.
Yeah. So now we're going to probably want to update the handle functions, right? So that, so if I'm not mistaken, on correct, we're going to take the current state, remove that item, and then set the state with the rest of it, right?
Do we even need to do that? I feel like the correct and incorrect we don't need anymore, because if it's correct, it's gone from the possible questions.
Oh, because we're already storing that state.
We're already storing that state. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is it gonna? Do we grab? So the issue that we're gonna have is because it's filtering down at the bottom.
Yeah.
When we go to select a question, I think it's still gonna pick out of the. It's still going to include the correct ones, because of the select question.
But if handle on correct does two things, if it removes the correct one and then selects a new question, and then handle on wrong, all it does is selects a new question.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're on the same page here.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah. No. But when it removes the correct, right, it's going to remove it from the possible questions and reset that state, right?
Yeah. And so we'll have a async error potentially, because we're doing two sets or two state updates in the same function, which sometimes makes React sad.
Okay. Do you have an idea of how to
get around that?
Yeah. I haven't actually seen that issue before.
Oh, really?
I'm curious. Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Well, let's go with your. Let's hope it doesn't show itself. But I've had issues where I've had 2 or 3 set states in the same function call, and only the first one actually being honored.
Interesting.
But yeah, that could just be me being dodgy.
Oh, you might be doing more complicated things than that. Cool. So I think the first thing we'd want to probably do is get the index, right? Yep. So const index equals index of, right? Or we can even use that find index, but index of. No, we probably want to use find index, right?
Yeah.
And then question ID equals question.id. So that should give us the ID. And then const questions cleaned, I guess, for now. We could probably add a filter rather than doing more complicated logic.
Yep.
Or wait, I'm in the wrong function.
You're
I
in the
just
wrong function.
realized.
That's okay.
Yeah. Thank you for not jumping
Well,
in.
you're doing the real thinking, so like it didn't matter where you're doing it, so it's good.
So the index. Oh, wait, no, because we do. No, so we don't even need that index, right? We can just filter,
Hmm.
and that filter would be the
Yep.
index
Yep.
because we would only need that index if we're doing the splice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we can do set possible questions, previous, similar to before. Or actually, we just set the possible questions as that array, right?
The IDs of that array.
And the IDs.
Because just a map of the IDs from that array, because questions. Oh no, you're right. Sorry, possible questions. I was imagining that to be mapped questions rather than just our array of numbers.
No, you're right. I think you're right. Wait, no.
No, because possible questions is just the array 0 through 20. No, you're right.
I'm
getting Colby, you're right.
Well, in that instance, I think we question ID. We don't.
Yeah.
We need to fix that then.
Yeah.
I'm getting mixed up between the different states that we're setting. But okay, so we're setting the possible questions.
Mm-hmm.
So once it's correct, it should remove that. It filters it out, and then it sets it. And then we probably don't need this. We probably don't need the old state. And then what else is it going to do? It's going to set the current question as the next one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's going to set the current question as a random from, right?
Yeah. So if it took the question select question, so pass in
the question's cleaned, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see if that works.
So what should happen? So we should. Oh, but we haven't. Oh yeah. Are we? How would we test that? So I guess we could have.
Are we still console logging out?
I would tidied up the console log. Sorry. So yeah, possible questions. I'm putting that back in again.
And we should just see that go down as we're.
Yep. So I got it. Ooh.
I don't think it's. Yep, it's not working. Okay, so what are we doing here?
Oh, is it not equal to in our filter rather than equal to? So we want everything that's not the one that we have.
So we want everything that's not.
Does that make sense? So
yeah, I think so. I was waiting for my page to refresh to try it.
Sorry.
No, but it looks like it's still not working.
Oh, I think mine is
working.
Wait,
is it? Oh, so it's because it's not getting removed.
Yeah. We haven't updated that logic yet, so I'm just looking at the possible questions array yet.
Gotcha.
At the moment.
Okay, so yeah, perfect. That is working. Okay.
And yep, cool. So, and the wrong is just going to set current questions with select question, and we just want to use the possible questions array.
Possible questions.
And then here we actually want to filter question.id equals current question.
Yep.
All the friends I've had, you're the first guess. Sorry.
No.
Hey, everybody's a jerk. You, me, this jerk. That feels like.
I'm waiting for it to reload.
Oh, sorry.
No. Seems to be working, right?
Hey, Colby, someone said they've just downloaded your book and it's awesome. This is actually.
Oh, thank you so much.
This is one of the exercises from the book that we're working through. We're building our own flashcard system, which is one of the things from the book. So yeah.
And we'll be able to put this source code up on the resources after too.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thanks, Taylor Bryant, for this starter app. Cool. Everybody's a jerk. You, me, this jerk. That feels like a Bender quote. It is. Yeah. And I'm going to try not this time. Yeah, it's working. We've done it. I love it.
Awesome.
Hey, well done.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome. I think it did pretty decent for our first time going through this, right?
Yeah, I think we did okay. Yeah, so we actually, for the two people who are still here, Hi. We're going to be live streaming on Tuesday with a more professional setup because Will's going to be leading us through. I
You
don't
were completely professional. Completely
I don't
professional.
think it worked out too badly in the end.
I don't
So,
think it did either. Yeah.
yeah. But we should do this again for sure. This has been a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
But cool. So Colby, do sign up for Colby's book, which is 50 React projects, or 50 projects for React and the static web, on his website, colbyfayuk.com. And
50reactprojects.com.
oh, sorry, yeah.
Yep.
You got a better one, 50reactprojects.com. Hey, look at that. Sign up.
Yep.
Colby has been doing so well with his sign-ups that he had to pay for ConvertKit to be able to get it. That's how good it's been going. But yeah, sign up. It's free. Yeah, they're amazing. Lots of great things, great fun things to do. I had a lot of fun. And we should definitely do this again.
Yeah, this was great.
Thanks, Colby.
Awesome. Thanks for hosting.
See you soon. Bye.
Yep. See ya.